Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. The last video uploaded was Light vs. JaeDong. This is going to be Light vs. JaeDong as well. And spoiler alert, they actually played 3 ladder games in a row. So we're going to go through all 3 of them. The first one was yesterday, so if you haven't seen it, go check that out. Right now, we are on Retro once again. We have JaeDong in the top left, and in the bottom left, we have Light. All right. Going to be very cool to kind of see how they changed the way that they played, right? In the previous game, also on Retro, JaeDong scouted Light first with the Overlord, which is happening again. Light did a wall-in, 2-Racks Academy. JaeDong was a little bit too light on the defense, right? That was a big moment as well. Was the single Sunken colony just getting busted very easily. There's set responses to stuff. If someone goes 2-Racks Academy Rush, you need to build 2 Sunkens, right? Unless your mutas are going to hatch before the Sunken dies, you really do need to have 2 Sunkens. And like the amount of times that people die trying to skimp. And the thing is, this is kind of universal, right? It's like, I'm sure that there are rules based on what you're seeing in the timings for how many cannons to make against Hydra Bust, right? I don't actually know those in particular because I don't play Protoss. But I'm sure there's rules, as well as if you don't have certain amounts of information in Terran versus Protoss, you build like a missile turret, for instance, right? Or you build a bunker. If you scout Protoss a little bit late and you're not sure if there's a Zealot on the map, you're just like, yeah, you just build a bunker, and then you don't die. Now, that being said, every pro-Terran in the world, every pro-Protoss in the world, every pro-Zerg in the world, and everyone else as well, occasionally will try to skimp and get punished for that. Whether that loses the game instantly or not is another question, but it's kind of a funny thing to see, because the thing is, you do need to try to hit more and more optimizations. And the more optimizations you're hitting, the more often you're going to get your opponents to think, oh, well, maybe I need to get this early damage. And then suddenly they try to get that, and you're playing safe, and then they're behind. And that's the best type of optimization, is defending something stupid your opponent did. Anyways, taking a look at this, Light is just going to scout up. Notice this game, no wall. It's going to be a 15 CC. So this is basically Light expanding without the Sunken Depot, so he can't really make very much. And this would be very, very weak to a 9 pool, but against any hatchery of first play, it's quite strong. So there is his depot, and he'll have to build a second barracks as well, no doubt. But yeah, I talked about it in the first game, right? Where I'm like, oh, I've seen so many games. It was something like 15 games in a row of Terrans walling in. And I mentioned that, like, we need to see some 4 pools, right? Like, if you mix in 4 pools, okay, so like, think of it this way, right? If you're seeing 15 walls in a row, even if you mix in 4 pool 10% of the time, you're winning 1 to 2 games there completely free, and then it's going to force the Terran to double think that. It's like, oh, this guy 4 pools sometimes. Maybe I should just make the barracks in my base. I think that's one of Sulky's huge powers, is that guy doesn't give a shit. He will 4 pool you, 6 pool you, 9 pool you, but he'll also play the biggest macro games anyone's ever seen. And that's, he's a 2-time ASL champ now. And we've been talking about this literally for years, how we're like, he should be a champion. And it took him a while to get there, but like, you got to have patience in StarCraft. There's a lot of volatility within the game, right? Even the guy that everyone calls God, Flash, has like a 70% win rate. That's not that high. You look at some of these other professional sports or professional esports, the win rates for the best players get really, really high. It's just there's a lot of volatility involved with StarCraft. And some of it's stuff like that 4 pool that I was talking about, right? It's like a percentage type plays. You have to think about it more in terms of poker than it is in terms of chess, I guess. Anyways, I'm always really fascinated with that. Sorry if I annoy people when I talk about stuff like that, because that's actually something I think about a lot nowadays, is like percentage builds and like how to properly think about those and mix those in. Anyways, he did do an SCV drill before he lost the last SCV onto the minerals to try to get up here. He sees the Spire, which is very good, very important, because, that way you don't actually have to make your comm stats right away. That is I've never seen this placement. That is fascinating, because this spot is really hard to make a bunker on. That's fascinating. I might copy that. Look at this. Very thin. Nothing can get through there. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to think about that one. Anyways, looks like he is doing the 2 Barracks Marine Medic move out. Has a Fire Bat mixed in there as well. Some Lings coming for a counterattack, but 2 Fire Bats are going to be out. So probably, ooh, he is going to try to fight with the SCVs. Doesn't want to lose that mining time. The Fire Bat's going to come up to try to help. You got to be careful here. If you lose too many SCVs, that becomes very bad. Sometimes you can just drill away, but it's hard to catch the Lings then. The Fire Bat's going to stim afterwards. And look at this. He's trying 1 Sunken again. Oh, man. Now, the mutas are actually about to pop. What did I say before? 1 Sunken's okay if the mutas pop before it dies. Watch how much better this hold is going to be. It's actually not going to be 100% perfect, but it's going to be a lot better than the last one. Woo! Okay, loses 1. Oh, he loses a drone as well. So it's going to come down to very similar to the last one, but you saw more potential there, right? He didn't lose any mining time, but he did lose 1 muta, 1 Sunken, 1 drone. So he lost the same amount, but no lost mining time. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's, you can see, it matters, right? How much health is left on the Sunken as your mutas get into the group, because the Sunken was dying just as he was grouping. If you get, like, even 1 extra swipe there, you probably lose 1 less thing. Like, maybe you don't lose a drone there. Anyways, the Mutalisks coming in, trying some harassment. That really interesting depot. I am fascinated with that one. The mutas just kind of fly past. He's got a beautiful number of Mutalisks right now. I believe Light actually already got range. Gets his factory started at a very normal time this game. So, you know, it could be a Valkyrie build once again, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, the mutas are trying to help hold, but there's this whole area with no missile turrets. And it seems pretty hard. Oh my god, JaeDong with some absolutely decisive plays. Brings in a tiny group of Speedlings to help out. Uh-oh, this is very close to snowballing right now. The Ling's going after these Marines. If he can kill these Marines, oh my god, they just barely live. Great micro there from Light. If you actually got rid of both these Marines, JaeDong probably jumps on the turrets and the game ends. Because if you're over the barracks, Terran can't do anything at that point. You need to have like a safe spot next to the barracks so that you can continue to produce. He's just going to GG though. Way too much damage. You know what? Let's just jump right into game 3. All right. So, you know, that game, it did end kind of abruptly, but I'm not too surprised. You saw how small the Marine count was. You saw how much damage JaeDong was dealing in that little area below the main command center, right up into the left side of the Raxes, and the factory was just above the gas there, and it was very tough. And with just 2 barracks Marine medic, because he was teching really quickly there again. With just 2 barracks Marine medic, remember we had seen the 2 barracks Marine medic into factory the game before, and I had mentioned you need lots of missile turrets with this. Lots of missile turrets. This game, he needed even more because he lost that whole group of Marines pretty quickly across the map. And just not quite enough turrets, so, you know, Light looks at that game and says, you know what, it's a ladder game, I'm taking a ton of damage, this is terrible, we'll just GG. And I think that that's a good, smart usage of his time. You don't need to really stay in there. You know, JaeDong kind of outdid him there with that very decisive aggression. So yeah, that's how that goes. Now, we're on Neo Dark Origin for game number 3, and Light makes it barracks at the ramp. So when you see the barracks like this here, there's going to be 2 depots. That's a Zergling tight wall. And yeah, that is an incredibly fast gas. So this is like 9 barracks, 9 gas. Wow. Okay, yeah. So what this is like some variation. I don't keep super close track of these particular builds. This is like a variation on a build that Royal used in ASL against Hero the season that Royal won. If you guys remember, that was, what was it, 2 years ago now? You know, it was like, it's like a proxy 10 factory. It's unbelievably fast. Yeah, there it is, proxy 10 fact. But yeah, so basically, you're sacrificing almost your entire economy to make your factory near your opponent, but not only is it near your opponent, which is going to take a good 20 seconds, or let's call it 15 seconds of travel time away from the Vulture, it's also coming from an angle that they don't see, and also, the factory itself is about 30 seconds faster. So we're talking about maybe saving 45 seconds on a vulture, which is longer than it takes to make a sunken, right? So like it is a huge deal. Of course, you're sacrificing a lot. If they somehow hold this, you lose. That's it. Game ends, right? But you'll see how fast it is. It's insane. So here we go. Yeah, the natural hatchery normally finishes around 3 minutes. So if you even calculate the fastest sunken, if you had a drone right here, right now, and started a sunken, would be, I mean, that's going to be your best chance, right? He's not doing that. Marine, the one Marine coming down as well, the SCV coming down as well. These are to put damage on morphing sunken colonies because vultures deal so little damage to buildings. So he's going to want to block / deal damage to anything incoming like that. I think right here, this is very bad for JaeDong. He's bringing his drones. There's not a lot of options. You can't sack the hatch. If you lose the hatch, you're just going to lose. You can't play one base versus one base against Terran. You just cannot do that. One base Zerg is like the worst, weakest crap in the whole world. Ooh! Almost gets the surround. He is making that sunken. Oh God, yeah, he's just gonna GG. Okay, well, those were that was a fast game. Very risky build. Just FYI, like if you're looking at this saying, "Oh damn, that's so strong, I want to use that." It's hard to execute. You have to micro-write and make all the right choices, but go ahead, use it. The thing is, if your opponent pulls first, you're dead. Just FYI, the odds you winning that are going to be very low. Okay. Anyways, that does it for the 3-game ladder series. And man, was that a ladder series. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.